Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. My name is Nadian Sands. This, of course, is Learn How to Edit Stuff, and today we're talking about audio filters, specifically high and low pass filters. Oddly enough, multiple people in the last couple weeks have asked me the same question. How do I get it to sound like the music is coming from inside of a room or inside of a club? And conversely, how do I get music to sound like it's coming from inside of somebody's headphones, and when they take out the headphone, you hear the music a little bit louder? Weirdly specific questions that I have weirdly specific answers to. Music coming from inside a room? I got you. Music coming out of headphones? I got you. What's up? So I'm gonna show you guys how to do that today in Adobe Premiere. It's a lot easier than you may think, and it is a cool effect if you're trying to achieve something like this. Open up Adobe Premiere because we are getting started right now. All right, guys, I've got Premiere open, and on my timeline, I've got the two clips you saw at the beginning of the video, one of me walking out of a room, one of me pulling the headphones out of my ears. So let's start with walking out of the room first. The first thing you're obviously gonna wanna do is find a music track that works for this. I'm using music from Monster Cat because I like the label and they are awesome. So I'm just gonna drag and drop that music right down onto my timeline, and I'm gonna turn this down so we don't blow out anybody's eardrums. And by the way, I'm hitting the left bracket on the keyboard, which will allow you to increase or decrease the volume of a music track by 1 decibel in either direction by using the bracket key. Boom, bet you didn't think you were gonna learn that one today, but hey, learn how to edit stuff, we always deliver. Let's keep going. So I've turned this down using the left bracket key on my keyboard, and then the next thing I'm gonna do is come up to Effects, and I'm going to search for Low Pass, and it is under Audio Effects, Filter and EQ, Low Pass, and I'm going to drop that right onto my music track. And if you were to play this right away, you hear that it's kind of doing something, but it's not exactly what we want it to do. Now, what I would recommend doing is expanding your audio track by holding down Shift and using your mouse wheel to expand the audio track. If you just scroll like that, you can make them bigger. Bet you didn't think you were gonna learn that one today, but learn how to edit stuff. We always do. Okay, let's just jump back in. So, I've expanded my audio track, and now what I'm gonna do is right click on this tiny little green VFX button right here, and I'm going to go to Low Pass and Cutoff, which will now give me control over the cutoff value of the filter. Now, if I were to pull this all the way down to like next to nothing, you can hear that it's like really doing a lot. It's like almost too much. And if I pull it all the way up, you'll see that it's like literally doing nothing, and the music is just full volume. So we wanna do somewhere in the middle. Now, the one thing that I see people do all the time is that they don't actually ramp the effect when the door opens or as you're getting closer to the room. In reality, if you were approaching a room that was playing loud music, the closer you get, the louder and more clear the music would become. Most people will just drop the effect on the audio track and then not do anything else. So we are going to do the anything else part, which is gonna help sell the effect just a little bit more. So I'm gonna go to right where I open the door. I'm gonna find a decent cutoff value for this low pass filter. I try to hover around 250 as much as possible, so I'm gonna get close. It doesn't have to be exact. 253, whatever. All right, so I'm gonna set a keyframe right there using the pen tool. I'm gonna hit play. And right where the door opens, I am now just going to ramp this up to probably less than 1,000 hertz, just slightly under 1,000 hertz, 930, 950, somewhere in that range. Let's listen to that. Nice. And then as I start shutting the door, right about there, I will set another keyframe and go to where the door is closed. I'm gonna copy my first keyframe over here and paste it there, and now I have a nice ramp. Very nice, and if you wanted to really go in and really smooth out these curves, you can right-click on each keyframe individually and go to Ease Out and Ease In, which, ladies and gentlemen, will give you nice little Bezier curves on that effect. So I can just shrink this curve in just like that, and go to this one, and we will go Ease Out of the gate, Ease into the finish line, pull this over just like so. So now we are kind of ramping outwards. Nice. And then you can kind of like move these keyframes around and adjust as necessary. If you wanted to grab all 4 of these keyframes by holding down Shift and left clicking, that will allow you to move them anywhere that you want. But if you don't want vertical movement, you can hold down Shift while you move this, and it will allow you to move left and right without going vertical. So that's a nice little lock in place trick, but I'm gonna leave it right where I was at, and I'm pretty happy with this. Excellent, let's do it on the high pass side. Now, I'm not gonna do it the exact same way because that would just be repeating this tutorial. As always at Learn How to Edit Stuff, we learn how to do things multiple ways. I'm going to show you the non-destructive way of doing this effect with the high pass filter. I actually prefer to do it the destructive way, which is dropping it right on the clip, because I can now move this audio clip wherever I want and the keyframes go with it. In this next version that I'm gonna show you, you can't really do that, but it is a cool, new, unique way that you can learn how to do this effect. So let's jump in straight away to the high pass filter. I'm going to put that on a new track. Go to my music over here, and this is the music track that I have selected for this portion. And again, I'm gonna turn this down using the left bracket so we don't blow out people's eardrums. And now instead of dropping the effect right onto the audio track, I'm gonna come up here to Window, Audio Track Mixer, and I'm going to drop a high pass filter on Audio 3. Filter and EQ, high pass, and now there is a high pass filter applied to the entire track, not just this clip. And so if I were to drop anything on this track, it would actually have a high pass filter applied to it. So this is just a slightly different way. I'm gonna come over here to where it says show keyframes, click on that guy and go to effect slot 1 high pass and cutoff. And now we are going to do the same thing, but it's inverted. So the more it is high pass, the higher this bar is, the more the filter will be taking effect. And then the lower it is, the more clear the music will become. So low pass, high pass. Does that make sense? It makes, okay. Anyway, I'm gonna find a value that I think is good. Right about there is nice. And I'm gonna set my keyframe on this track. And as soon as I pull it out of my ear, I will kind of come down pretty low so that the music becomes more clear. And I'm actually gonna scoot these keyframes over and make it a much shorter throw. There you go. Real short because I'm whipping it out of my ears. What's up? And we'll just lower this down so the music is even clearer. What's up? All right, and then set a keyframe here. And it's back in my ear. Copy and paste this keyframe there. What's up? Nice, I'm feeling pretty good about that. Now, what I was saying before about destructive and non-destructive. I actually can't move this audio clip because I'm currently looking at my high pass keyframes. But if I were to move this over, back to clip keyframes, I can now move this audio track, but unfortunately, if I move the audio track, the keyframes for the cutoff stay where they were. So these actually don't travel with the music. I would have to manually go in here, highlight all of these, holding down shift, and then moving it again on the track. And this can kind of be good or bad depending on what you're doing. If this is something that you're applying last, doing it on the track is easier, especially if you're gonna have multiple high pass scenarios on the same track. This will kind of give you a little bit more leverage to do that, but it's always difficult to forget about because you have to switch back over into clip keyframes in order to move stuff around. And while you're doing that, you don't actually see any of your keyframes down on the timeline, so you don't know that they're there. But one of the benefits is if I wanted to just move this to a different part of the song, I can just move the entire track, the keyframes stay where they're at, and now I'm using a different part of the song. What's up? So that's a nice little way that you can kind of maneuver around that. But that is two different ways to do it. One is dropping the effect onto the audio clip itself, which allows you to retain movement of those keyframes while you're dragging around the clip. The other is putting it on the audio track itself, but it doesn't allow you to move, but you can do multiple things on the same track. Pick your poison. Whatever works for you is the best for your workflow. I personally like to drop it on the clip because I like to move things around. A little bit harder to move those keyframes later, but you know, 6 of one, half dozen of the other, or whatever the saying is, I don't know. Anyways, nice short and simple tutorial today. I know that you learned a lot of stuff. Did you know about the bracket thing, turning the audio track down by 1 dB at a time? Maybe, who knows? What about expanding the audio track with your mouse wheel? Maybe, who knows? High and low pass filters? We learned a lot about audio today. Nice short and simple tutorial. I wanna thank you guys for watching this video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, what the hell are you doing? Why aren't you subscribed? I got a lot of editing tutorials on my channel. Learn how to edit stuff. Could you tell by the name? Thanks for stopping by. My name is Nadian Sands. If you'd like, there's links in the video description to support me in this channel or support you. You can join my Discord. You can follow me on social media, all that fun stuff. Go and check out all the links in the description, and I will see you in the next one. I love coffee.